You you know what would fix a lot of problems? If Microsoft stopped fucking firing everybody. Like, no joke. Microsoft fired so many developers on Activision Blizzard. Like, they just fired like whole teams in waves. That's why there's like so many problems still. Or that's why there's a lot more problems and it takes a lot longer to fix things. Or to like give more content. It takes so long because there's because there's no team left. There's no more team left, dude. Oh man, especially bad for freaking Overwatch too, because they fired whole teams and they just scrapped things that they were working on. So now they're forcing the teams, they're forcing the developers to like um to to get rid of promises that they made. Remember how one of the selling points was on Overwatch 2 was like, yeah, we're gonna have a story mode, and you know how there's no story mode because Microsoft fired everyone, and Bobby said scrap it all. Microsoft, stop firing the teams at Activision. Stop firing the teams. They could actually make more money that way.
Spend a bit more time and money on server performance. Other large
That's
player count games in the past,
that
like
Resident Evil
Battlefield 4, for
team
example,
is
with
my
64
love team
players,
in game
did have
series.
high tick rate servers up to 120 Hz if you
Fair
wanted.
enough.
That felt super snappy, good to play on, and 60 Hz then became the standard going forward. So I feel like it should be possible for Warzone 2. And higher tick rate servers should definitely be there already in multiplayer for smaller gamers like S&D Hardpoint Domination. I'm sure those upgrades would make a massive positive impact on rank play, and of course competitive, the Pro League. I think it's important that we talk about trust as well. Call of Duty has been having a very hard time with this over the last 2 years or so, I would say, and it would appear on the surface that trust within the fan base and vocal community is at an all-time low. On almost every social media post or YouTube video, there is a slew of negative comments and sentiment, sometimes even community notes. It mainly revolves around fixing the game, the cheating situation, and focusing on selling bundles and event passes instead of addressing problems with the game. The recent Squid Game event is an example of that. It gives the impression that their priorities are not in the right place. I also mentioned the thing about store errors too in the bug section that are promptly fixed. Other bad examples that soured trust are like during Warzone 2 when DMZ was being updated still. They sold store bundles that gave you pretty big gameplay advantages, like always spawning in at the start of a round with a UAV. It all makes people wonder what else could be going on behind the scenes. Generally, speaking about microtransactions too, Call of Duty feels like it crams so much of that down your throat nowadays that you get sick of the taste. The battle passes, the store, black
I
sell,
think
events,
a
skins,
lot. I
collabs,
think a
hateful
lot of that
passes in your
is
face
because
as soon
of
as you boot
Bobby.
up the game. It's way too focused on the business and
I
engagement
think
side of
I think a
things,
lot
and
of
I
that
think
is
it's
because
really
of
started to have a
Bobby,
negative impact
because
on the
because
gameplay and player base now.
his
Trust is important, and the
influence
only way
is
out of this
still
is to
in the
start actually
Activision and
delivering
Blizzard
good updates and
teams,
fixes. Shift the
and that
focus
is
to the
not gonna go
gameplay.
away
More
for
transparent
a while
communication would be nice too, but ultimately, I feel like they
because
should stop
change
saying
takes
they're
a
going to
while.
do things and instead just
The
start doing
Activision
the things
Blizzard
and let the
or
improvements do
freaking
the
Bobby
talking.
influence is not
Wrapping
going
things up
away,
because I don't want this video to go on too long. It
and that
probably
and
already is, but I
he's
feel
like
like
the
many of
big
these issues
reason
that I have could be rectified
why
if
the
they were to separate
Activision and
Warzone from the
Blizzard
main Call
games
of
are
Duty
like
titles,
going
so they weren't
downhill
shackled and bound by that
because of
anymore.
his
Make it a separate
decisions
game with its own
just to make more
dedicated dev
money.
team, engine, weapon values, cycles, vision, etc. They need a fresh start and to go back to the drawing board, really diving into what made 2020 Warzone so good in the first place. It has started to become
Yeah,
tiresome
exactly.
every year when there's a new COD game to learn, unlock and grind all these new weapons for Warzone, and every time they do a new integration, it shakes up the gameplay
That's
too
why
much in my
that's
opinion.
why
The art style
that's
changes, the vibe changes,
that's why
the
there
gameplay
will
changes,
not be
throwing
like
players away from what they
games that
knew
kill
and throwing
other
too many
games with
curveballs
these
at them.
game or
PUBG,
with
as I
these
mentioned at
kinds
the
of
start
things.
of the video,
It's the
it's the
actual
only battle
game.
royale
It's
game
the
right now that I
develop
still
the
play
overall
somewhat
parent
regularly.
company
As of making this
themselves
video on a Sunday in
that's
January,
killing the
PUBG has
games.
507,000 players on PC Steam.